Hey guys, it's Ron. So I wanted to talk a little bit about Cisco Packet Tracer. So while I'm a fan of having physical equipment, routers to really get your hands on, it's not always feasible. You might be traveling or what have it. So having this installed on your laptop or whatever, helps you continue to work, through a book or through labs. Also, through Cisco Packet Tracer, you can generate your own labs for other people to do. And so you can kind of send labs to each other and kind of help each other's education. And consequently, you can download Cisco Packet Tracer online. So not talking about shelling out a lot of money for it. So this is great for new students who haven't made that jump to buying real equipment. So in this tutorial, I just kind of want to walk you through how to generate those labs for other people. If you've never used Cisco Packet Tracer before, not a big deal. You should pick up enough along the way to be able to, work it yourself. So here we go. So we're going to fire up the Activity Wizard. All right. The Activity Wizard has 3 different settings here for your profile. I typically stick with Novice because, again, I am a novice really. To Cisco Packet Tracer. The intermediate and advanced just give you some more options that you can work through. But pretty much everything I've done, Novice works just fine. So the first tab is instructions. So this is what is going to be displayed to the person that starts up the lab. So I'm just going to paste in some basic settings. And this is HTML. So nothing too crazy. So you write in whatever tasks you want them to complete. You can preview it. Okay, yeah, this is an IP addressing lab. If you complete this, you are one with Cisco. And you're going to give them different tasks or what have it. Now you can, using the bottom bar, you can add extra pages and what have it. I'll let you explore that on your own. Answer network. So this is where you're actually going to build a network for your users to use. And so for those of you who are brand new to Packet Tracer, this is basically what you're going to end up seeing. Is you're going to drag out a router, or whatever you're trying to build. You're going to bring it up. You've got these different interfaces that you can use. So I'm going to turn it off. I'm going to drag out a serial port, just a WIC1T. I'm going to turn it back on. Close it out. Bring up the other one. Turn off. WIC1T. Turn back on. Nothing too high tech about that right there. Alright. I've got my connections down here. Alright. So I'm going to slide across. And I've got serial DCE because we're talking serial connection. So the first one that I grab is going to end up being the DCE side. So I'll go serial 000 to serial 000. And then I need some hosts. So let's drag computer up here. I'll drag another computer up here. Alright. We'll go back to my connections. I'm going to slide over. I'm going to hook up console port. So RS-232 to console. RS-232 to console. Alright. Then I'm going to do a crossover cable because we're going from a computer to a router. I'll put it on 01. Crossover. Fast Ethernet 01. Alright, and then we can drag these around so it kind of makes sense. Everything kind of lines up right. Alright. So notice everything is red. That means it's not working. So what we can do is we can either configure it from the host, bring up the host, I can go to my desktop, bring the tab down for you. I can go to terminal, 9600.8.1 is the default, and I bring it up. So this is just like a real router to an extent. Would you like to do initial configuration dialog? I'm going to say no. Return to get started. And here I am at the prompt. So I can do an enable fig t host name. We'll call this router A. We can do our interface FA 0/1 IP address 192.168.0. We'll call this one 1, 255, 255, 252. No shut. Interface serial 0/0. Oops, it's 0/0/0. The IP address 172.16.0.1 255 255 255 252. No shut. Alright. And right. Alright. So I've basically configured a couple interfaces on the router. Now I'm going to do IP configuration here. Static 192.168.0.2 255.255.255.252 192.168.0.1. So now I've assigned the gateway, I've assigned my IP address, and I'm using the correct mask. So if I've done everything right, oops, wrong button. I got command prompt here. I can ping 192.168.0.1 and it comes up, so I know the fast Ethernet is programmed correctly. Alright. So now I can hop over to my router on this side. I'm going to go to the command line interface. Nope. Enable config T host name router B interface FA 0/1. We'll do IP address 192.168.0.5 255.255.255.252. No shut. No. If I could type today, no shut. Interface serial 0/0/0. IP address 192. This is the 172 network. 16.0.2 5.255.252. No shut. Now if we do a do show controllers serial 0/0/0, we notice that it's a DCE right there. So we're going to do a clock rate. So now we've set a clock rate and show IP interface brief. If I could spell brief correctly. Alright, so we are up, and up. Ping 192.1, or wait, I haven't configured my computer yet. So let's do a ping 172.16.0.1. So there's the other router. Show CDP neighbor. CDP must not be up yet. So let's come down and configure our PC down here. So we got our desktop, IP configuration, 192.168.0.6, 255.255.255.252, 192.168.0. We were 5. We're going to go command prompt ping 2.168.0.5, and that works. If we try to ping 192.168.0.1, it shouldn't work. So we'll come up here, config T, bring this down here for you to see. IP route 192.168.0.0 255.255.255.252 serial 0/0 end right. Realize I'm rushing here, but don't want you to get too bent around the axle with all the little stuff. So IP route 92.168.0.4 network 255.255.255.252. We'll send this also out serial 0/0. So whoops, I missed the route. And ping 192.168.0.6 should be the other computer, and we've got connectivity. So that's basically what we want, is we have a network that's functioning just the way we want it to. and then we're going to go and click the Activity Wizard answer, and it's going to bring up the window again. So now in the answer network we have all these down here that are basically a part of our network. So we're gonna mark out what we think is important that we wanted the user to have completed. So if I bring up PC0, and let's go back, show answer network. So I have PC0 here, PC1 here, router 0 here, router 1 here. So I'm only gonna test them on configuring this side. All right. So PC0, I want them on my ports, fast Ethernet. They configured it with the correct IP address, and they used the correct subnet mask. Up here is the default gateway, so I'll test them on that as well. That's all I care about for PC0. Now for router 0, I want to make sure, let's see here, it should be ports. Fast Ether 01. I want to make sure they gave it the correct IP address, and that, where is there we go, there's the mask, and port status to make sure that port is up. Alright, I'm going to do the same thing here. So port status, mask, and there's my IP. Alright, now I can do keyword searches up here, so I can look for route. So let's see, router, there's for router A, that's the host name. So I could have done a search for host name. Maybe not. Let's go back, filter. Well, you can play around with it. It's not that difficult, but what I'm looking for here should have been route. Routes. So maybe I needed to put an S on that. I want to make sure they did that static route. And that's it. So I'm just going to test them on those couple of commands on router 0 and those couple of commands on PC 0. You can do connectivity tests. What you end up doing is adding these PDUs between the two computers, and once they build the entire network, that PDU should complete, and so their connectivity test will go through. But I'm not going to do that in this lab. So then we have initial network. So this is what they're initially going to see when they start up. So I'm just going to copy from my answer network. Bam. So they're going to get the same exact setup as I built, right? So you can establish a couple of defaults for them. Me personally, I kind of like to go back to the network and destroy it there. So I'll come up here to my original computer. I'll go back to IP configuration. I'll set it to DHCP so that it doesn't have an IP address. Come to my router, enable config T, no, we'll do a host name router, we'll do a interface FA 0/1, no IP address, shut, interface serial 0/0/0, no IP address, and shut. Do show, well, I don't think that works in this thing. Show run. Right there. That's what I'm looking for. I want to take my IP route out. Copy. Config T. No. Paste. End. Alright, so we've taken the IP out of this computer, and we've taken both interfaces offline. So now the network is broken, right? So that's what we want, because we want them to come in and fix the network. Alright, now we can set a password on this so that they can't change, can't get in here and change any of the activity stuff. I think I typed those wrong. Alright, then we can do test activity. Alright, test activity is going to basically give us the same exact thing that they were given, and it's basically running through the scenario for them. So if you notice, there's a completion 0%. You can do check results. So these are the things that I was making sure that they configured. So these are the items that they're going to have to complete in order to get 100%, right? So I'm just going to exit out. So in this initial network, back up here, I can go to locking options. So this is a way to kind of lock down the network so they can only do certain things. So in my topology, I can make sure they can't create devices, remove devices, toggle power. I don't want them to move devices or use the CLI tab. So there's all these different things that I can set on here, right? If you go, let's see, existing devices, I want to make sure that they can't do anything basically to router 1 or PC 1, because those are already configured. We can go into router 1. I don't want them to be able to get into the configure tab. I want them to have to use the console port. So these are all different things that you can do, so that now when you go to test connectivity and they try to click on here, it's like, oh, it's locked, I can't use that. But they can go here and they can go to their desktop, they can go to their terminal, make sure those settings are correct, and they can get in that way. Alright, so as they complete items, for example, we'll do enable figt hostname router A. So now they've completed a task. So in their task up here, they've started to build a percentage. Okay, and you can again, that's up to you how many tasks you want them to complete. You can also lock these tabs out so that they can't even look at the assessment items to see what you're looking for. There's a lot of control that you have, and then once complete, you can give them a message. Hey, congratulations. All this kind of stuff. On the same lines, you can also let me see, where was it? You can add timers, so you can give them a specific amount of time. So answer network settings, and you can give them a timer. So you have 10 minutes to complete this lab, and if you can't complete it, it ends and they have to reset and start over. Alright, so once you're happy with the way things have gone, you can do a save or a save as. You can name it whatever you want. It ends up being a PKA file, so this is just test save. So now if I close this out, let's see, yes, I want to exit. I'm going to go ahead and go Cisco Packet Tracer, saves, fire this up, and this is what you get. So this is what the user's going to get. They're going to get a pop-up with all the stuff that you wrote, and they get your base lab, and they've got to start going to town. Alright, so pretty cool tool for one, just if you don't have a router, being able to get your get into the command line, run some real commands instead of just reading it in the book. But secondly, if you're trying to be more of the mentor kind of role, you can generate labs for people, send them to them, have them try it out, challenge them, and so you kind of help each other out that way. So I hope you found the tutorial handy. I hope you get something out of it. So thanks for watching, man.